Death. Welcome to my 100 layers of glue stick on my eyebrows video. Now, I have put rhinestones on my face before, but for whatever reason, every time I do, I am beyond paranoid that my 5 eyebrow hairs are gonna come right out when I take the rhinestones off. I know this is not the case, but just to be safe, I did nail polish mountain on my eyebrows with the glue stick. So we're doing a 4 Horsemen series. I knew that this series was going to be very, very involved. I knew I was gonna get sucked in and want to make everything head pieces, all kinds of things. That's exactly what has happened. Now, when you think of death, you probably think of something along the lines of like Grim Reaper in terms of like characters, not actually, you know, like... Originally, this character was going to be dark, scary, menacing. But then I just decided I didn't want to do that. After I came up with the concept of war for the 4 Horsemen in this series, I decided that I wanted war and death to kind of balance off of each other. And War is a very powerful character. Very stands tall-ish, intimidating, evil, heartless type character. I didn't want Death to be that way. I wanted it to have a more angelic feel. Something that's more like, come with me. Not like, come with me, ha ha ha. So I came to the ultimate decision that I wanted everything to be rhinestone. An adventure that is not for the weakest of souls. I wanted this skull to be all white. I quickly found out that that was a bad idea. You see, what happened was, this is actually my 2nd time trying to do this look. I had all the rhinestones on. And what happened was, all of the clear rhinestones blended right into the white paints underneath. I should have known this, because when I did my angel look last year, I think, I had the exact same problem. I wanted to make white wings on white body paint. You cannot do that. It does not make sense. I mean, I suppose you can. Look, I'm still convinced. I'm still convinced. I did it, and I did it like 6 times. When I did my angel look, I'm still convinced that you can do a white on white body paint, and I'm telling me, it does not work. Now, maybe it can work if you were to do like a lighter pale white and then do like a more intense white, but it doesn't read well on camera. It doesn't read well on camera. White on white paint won't work because it's white paint over white. But maybe it can. Maybe there's a world where it can. But it's not this world. It's not this video. I had to shade the skull, which in a sense made me a little sad because I did want it to be a completely white look, which I feel like would give it a different feel and more of an angelic feel, but the design was just continuously getting lost. With all the shading in place, I also wanted to still make it where I could have a lot of rhinestones and a lot of pearls and still make it very airy feeling. It's not quite as airy as I would have hoped it to be, but it worked out. So when filling in the design for my skull, I wanted to make sure that I included kind of an outline of where I was going to lay the rhinestones, kind of going up around my mouth, down around my cheekbones, so I would have some sort of outline to follow as opposed to just either lining them straight across my face up and down or just chaos. And thus brings us to the point of rhinestones. I don't want to alarm anybody. Look, I'm making sure my camera's in focus. I hit him with the double. Thank you. I darkened up some areas that needed a little more contrast against the stones and then admired how sparkly I was when I accidentally went out of focus. Very sparkly. Shiny. For my body, I said, you know what? I think that we can make white on white work. And you know what? In this case, it did. I think it worked better on my body than it did on my face, simply because it wasn't as much of a design as it was implying a rib cage and really just giving it a very sparkly effect, but not having the detail that my face needed. And plus, really, I just wanted it to match my sight. You guys ask me sometimes if I'm ever like sad to take my makeup off. I am sad sometimes that like when I spend a lot of time making props, I can't really reuse them. I mean, I guess like maybe years in the future when the internet forgets that I've used this already. How I wanted the rhinestones to follow around like the skull outline as opposed to doing rows. I figured that out because originally I actually rhinestoned this whole thing, not following, this is rows, but it's following the shape of the scythe. I didn't follow the shape of the scythe to begin with. I had to take it all off because I didn't like the way it looked. And this is adhered with like really strong adhesive. So I was in my kitchen like 2 in the morning, not even exaggerating, just like peeling all these rhinestones off. It lifted all the paints off the scythe. I had to sand it down again and redo like this whole thing. But it looks sick!